a quick chat, and I promise this is going to be a very quick chat with our guest this evening. Uma Anandan is a BJP councillor joining us on the broadcast. Good evening, Uma ji. Long time no see. Salim Dharan is joining us on the broadcast as well for a second night in a row, spokesperson of the DMK. Thank you very much. And our old friend Madhavan Narayan, senior journalist, will help us put things in perspective as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. Uma ji is defying the UN report that has come out about India's happiness and is smiling away. So good to see you smiling, Uma ji. I hope you're in a good mood when I ask you why you think the DMK's manifesto is essentially like building castles in the air.
See, one thing, I'm always in a good mood when it comes to the DMK because it is a big comedy for us. What is a manifesto? It shows our commitment to the people of Tamil Nadu. It shows whatever state we are in. I would just like to point out 5 things. Piddling out lies and falsehood is not manifesto. The same points which they promised in their earlier election, I would like, is being repeated here. And you have the Chief Minister going on record on stages to say we have committed. Please ask him these things. First, his sister Kanimuri, who was instrumental in today's manifesto, also said that first thing they will do when they were sitting in opposition, the first sign will be for closure of TASMAC because Tamil Nadu has the highest number of widows. That was her statement. I would like to remind her about this promise that she made earlier in meeting after meetings. Second, I would like to ask, they are saying they would like to reduce the price of diesel. This is what we were asking earlier. When the GST was introduced and then they were raising a hue and cry, the central government asked the state to reduce their share. 10 rupees. Central was prepared. They were not prepared to do that. Now during election, all of a sudden it has dawned on them that they can reduce. And third, I would like to ask about the NEET. They promised the same thing in last year's election. NEET will be abolished. They know fully well that NEET cannot be done. They have gone to Supreme. It has been dragged. It is only cheating the students literally cheating, I would call. Cheating is a very mild word that I am using on this. And fourth, I would like to ask, this they are telling is the manifesto for Alliance partners. I would like to ask Mr. Sharad Pawar and his daughter whether the same manifesto is going to be told even in Maharashtra. And no need, governor, everything. Do they think that I would like to remind the Davida Munnetra Kazhagam that Tamil Nadu is an integral part of in Bharat. They cannot piddle out all these lies, change constitution and all that with about 30. When they were in UPA 1, UPA 2, what were they doing? They were sleeping or were they all going into hibernation that time? When they are in power, it is one. When they are out of power, one thing. Let me refresh their memory and let them first not cheat the people. If you know, Mr. Karunanidhi, when he was in power about 10 years or 15 years back, in his manifesto, he said he is going to give land for the landless. What happened to that? The manifestos are only peddling out lies
Umaji, now wait. Umaji, your first response cannot be longer than the DMK's manifesto.
People will be taken for a ride even now.
Acha, Umaji, I've given you enough time. I've let you register with the viewers. What? Thank you.
You must give me time.
Acha, ho gaya. Okay, ho gaya. Let Mr. Dharan respond.
When you have to counter dishonest facts, you have to be long.
Okay, then let us give some time to Mr. Dharan to counter you as well.
See, if I will have to tell the unfulfilled promise of the BJP and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, 24 hours would not be sufficient. So let me not go into it. But let me at least rationalize the claims we made in the manifesto. DMK is not a party that says one thing today and one thing tomorrow. Our stance is always consistent. Ever since the inception of the party in the late 1940s, we've always encouraged for reduced power of the governor. But you know why this is more important now? It is more important now simply because it's very important now because under BJP, the governors are acting as extra constitutional authority. This has never happened in the Constitution of India. All politicians are appointed as governors. In fact, I will go on and say third-rated politicians are masquerading as governors in this land right now, which is why it is necessary to abolish 361 and it's very pertinent to appoint governors in consultation with the Chief Minister, because if that will happen, you will not have someone like an R.N. Ravi who's thwarting the growth of individual states. This wouldn't happen, which is why we are very keen to abolish 361, because if we don't abolish 361, they think they're above law and they don't follow the constitution. And they think they're not answerable to the Supreme Court, they can do whatever you want. Numerous times we have gone to the Supreme Court and Supreme Court has questioned R. N. Ravi. We've been vindicated, not once. Time and again we've been vindicated. So that is why we wanted to abolish 361. And let me come to NEET. We immediately after we came to power, we passed the bill in the assembly. The bill was sent to the governor. What was the governor sitting for 18 months? This is his job. We got the mandate from the people, right? Who are they? Who's the governor to sit on it? And governor then after 18 months is the president. President is sitting on it. Let me go back to 2006. In 2006, I'll tell you what happened.
Mr. Dharan, but here's the point. Here's the point.
No, let me complete.
That some of the things that you're seeing will require a change in the constitution. For example, scrapping of NEET. I know that you guys are already, the DMKs had a problem with NEET. Their concerns are valid and they're in the Supreme Court because of it. But things like UCC, chalo chhod do, it has not come into being. But things like CAA, for example, things like the way the governor is appointed, Article 370, the scrapping of Article 370, you want to reverse it. Point is that these things will require the constitution to change, and honestly, how is that even possible? I mean, you're just saying things for the sake of saying it, is what the BJP is saying. Ki kuch bhi bol do, because you're not going to win.
No,
at least in India. In of course, Tamil Nadu, the DMK will do well.
No, we are confident that India Alliance will form the government with more than 400 MPs, which is why we are saying that we'll be able to change the constitution. Right? We are changing the constitution to preserve the constitution. What is CAA? In CAA, you're bringing religion into awarding citizenship. That is against the constitution, because in the constitution, no one can be discriminated based on religion. It's not allowed. So, which is why we want to roll back CAA. Right? And how can you leave out Sri Lankan Tamils who have been treated very badly in Sri Lanka? They are both minorities and they have been facing a lot of attacks there. So how can you leave out Sri Lankan Tamils? That is why sitting for Sri Lankan Tamils. I'll tell you one thing very important. 2006, when DMK formed the government, there was entrance exam for medical admissions. We passed a bill and it went to the governor and it went to the president and it was immediately annulled. Because the constitution was working then. Now the constitution is not working. So we don't want anyone like Prime Minister Narendra Modi to come in the future and then tweak the constitution. That is why we want to strengthen it. And when we have the majority, we can do it. Like
Madhavan Narayan.
Pass the bill for stay, he'll be able to annul it to. What is the complication here? I don't see any complication here.